Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About Meh. I am your host, David James Hobbs, and today I want to talk about this channel's birthday. It has been 1 year, if you can believe it, 1 whole year since I began whatever the hell this is. So I thought we'd go over some stats and some numbers, some statistics, if you will, and just see what's happened throughout the year. And I want to reflect a little bit on this past year because I honestly cannot believe that I've kept this up for a whole year. That really, really blows my mind. Like, for people that know me, I didn't bother with social media. I didn't like social media. I wasn't really up for sharing things in my life. I was very kind of like personal. And for me to be able to do it for a year and not stop or not take the cream puff, which means huff, yeah, that's an achievement in itself. So let's roll on and do some stats and some history. So the first ever episode I put up on here, on the old YouTube, was Rambling and a Monster Mash. And I thought to myself that I would go and watch that episode to refresh in my mind and see where I was to where I am now. I can't get through it. I can't watch that episode. I literally can't get through it now, and it's terrible that I can't. It's so bad. The audio quality is not great. The camera quality is okay-ish, but it was a camera that wouldn't focus correctly. My cadence, I haven't started even learning because it's the first time I ever spoke into a camera. I still think I have a lot to learn on that front. Speaking into a camera, I still find very, very difficult on a personal level with the autism. Looking into a camera lens is almost the same as looking into someone's eyes, and it causes me genuine discomfort, sometimes high anxiety, and even, believe it or not, pain. It's a weird neural response. But I think I'm getting better at being able to genuinely talk. I am still working on the ums and ahs. They are still quite strong and quite prevalent, and then when I get into like rants and rambles, they come out. But the point is, which I'm taking the positive from, is that I'm getting better. So, I'm just in a dickhead mood today. Also, if I sound nasally, it's because I'm getting the cold, because it's freezing out there, and it's cold, hence the hat. So I'm getting the cold, and it's, at the time of filming this, just over a week from the final Combat League Wrestling show of this year. I'm not worried about it at all. No. So yeah, I can't get through the first episode. I can't do it. But I do remember saying something along the lines of, I will be happy if like 8 people watch the video, because I genuinely don't think I'm remotely interested. I don't think I have anything content-wise to offer. And I got more views than I thought I would. I genuinely got more views than I thought I would, which I really, really appreciate. And I know there's some people that actually watch the majority of my videos. And those that have come forward and spoken to me about it, I really appreciate it. I have always appreciated constructive criticism, feedback, but it still blows my mind when people tell me they enjoy my content, when people tell me that my content helps them in some way, which is so weird because I'm just talking about shit that I like and my personal experiences. So first of all, before I go any further, thank you to everyone that does watch these videos. Thank you to everyone that makes the time and effort to talk to me about it, to message me about it, when you see me, to say something about it. I really do appreciate it, because this is just a hobby to me. I just started it as a good, fun little hobby. And I'll get into it later, but there's been highs and there's been lows with it. But when people give me feedback and tell me that they get some sort of enjoyment out of this, it does spur me on. It does make me go, well, it's not just for me that likes doing this. I like doing something for other people. I like being helpful to other people. I like to help when I can, and this kind of like falls into that, which makes me feel better about doing it. And then on days when I feel like, oh, I cannot be bothered recording, I'm tired, I'm ill, in the back of my mind it spurs me on a little bit to like, well, make a little bit of effort. So yeah, the first episode, Rambling in a Monster Mash, it was literally, as this video is happening now, a ramble, and I spoke about Combat League Wrestling's Monster Mash 2024. my cadence is terrible, my presenting's terrible, my ums and ahs is terrible. I didn't lock my lighting down. I still haven't locked my lighting down. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but my lighting changes pretty much every video. But the best I shifted from upstairs to downstairs. So I had a smaller room upstairs for all my geek stuff, and then I turned what was my living room downstairs into the family room. So we've got all like my comic books and graphic novels are off in that corner. My board games are obviously behind me, taking, you know, center stage. I've got a table dedicated to board games that this is sitting on that I'm recording at the moment. I might actually do a video on that one day just to show you, because I'm very proud of it. And I've got like my computers and consoles and things and for Corbin and the family, and I've got my work computer over there for my editing and things. So, you know, shifting down into a bigger room was a good move, and having our living room upstairs, which I know people are going to be like, you've got your living room upstairs. It's brilliant. You should do it. You should try it. Heat rises. But it's good. I always think like a family room should be a smaller room anyway to keep you together. And it's been interesting and a way for me down here to have a bigger room and more open space to talk. I know it sounds strange. I don't feel so confined. Because when you got a camera sitting in front of you and I've got two lights either side of me here, it's like, It's also easier when I do the podcasts because I can do it on a bigger table, whereas before, if you go back and watch the other podcasts, we're crammed into that room, my little folding table, which is no longer with us because the leg broke on it. I blame Steve, big Stephen Ness. He leaned on that table with his big massive arms and just snapped it. I'm sure he broke it. Adamant he broke it. But yeah, so there's been a change. So the lighting, I can never quite get right. The lighting upstairs in the smaller room, the blue and the purples, which I like because I like synthwave, I like 80s stuff. It's just my vibe. Yeah, they're more prominent. In here, not so much. And literally the lights are either side of me. I mean, they're on my face, and I've got a ring light, which I invested in, that's shining down on me just now. So, you know, there has been effort made. I also invested in better editing software. I've gone through 2 cameras since I started this. I got a small Osbot webcam, which was actually really, really good. The only thing I didn't like about it was that the son of a bitch had a terrible time focusing, and there was nothing you could do to mess about with that. And most cameras you can. You can either turn like autofocus off or calibrate it a bit. And for some reason, that one just didn't want to play ball. I'm currently now using an Osmo Pocket Handheld 2, I think it is, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It is a fantastic camera for vlogging, for going outside, for stuff. Going on, we have our family holiday usually in May, and I'm planning on taking this with me on that because I want to do a bit more filming with it. But this thing is brilliant. It's got a face tracking system, which is really, really good. So if you want to use it for streaming, it's probably spot on. If you want to use it for action shots outside, it's spot on. I do want to film more of the Combat League training because I need to do an advertisement for reasons which I can't announce at the moment, but will be made public. Oh, there's none. Caught one. So yeah, I've put a lot of work into it. I've made an effort to make this as good as possible. Oh, this thing here almost came, this mic fluffy thing here came with this camera as well. And it's been a game changer. I do miss having my stand mics here because I liked having something between me and the camera. It made me relax more. But yeah, it is what it is. I am really rambling in this video. I do apologize. I am so tired. But yeah, so it's been a year. Rambling, Monster Mash, lighting. Things have changed. I've changed rooms, and it's been a journey. The first podcast I ever did was with RJ Cash / Ricky Hernandez, and that was a podcast I really enjoyed. And I always went in with the intention of the podcast to not have it overly as an interview. And I think I've succeeded with that. I want it to be a candid chat with some guidance from myself. And that's been a huge thing that I have enjoyed the most in doing this, is the podcasting, because hosting is really, really difficult. and it's a skill that I want to learn and improve on. And some of the I've enjoyed every podcast, right? I want to make that clear. Anything I say critical of the podcast, it's on me. It's nothing to do with my guests. I have enjoyed every conversation I've had because I have learned more about the person when I'm having a conversation with them, and it's always been fun and it's always been a great laugh. I just think that sometimes my hosting is not there on every one of them. Sometimes I'm bad for jumping in or talking too much and not letting my guests talk enough, and that is a personal thing, and it's also, as much as I keep saying it, it's the tism. It's my autism. Sometimes I get something in my head and I've got bleh, spit it out. And then I've watched podcasts back and I've realised that I've cut my guest off with that, and the story then doesn't continue, or it changes subject very quickly and veers off into something else. So I'm also going to attempt to work on that because there are more podcasts coming. Now, there is a problem with podcasting, is that I'm not a social darling. I don't actually have a large social circle, and that's not a bad thing. That's my choice. So getting guests and things is quite difficult because I don't know many people. I also don't have the confidence to reach out to people that I don't know that I would otherwise want to interview. So that's a difficult thing for me. So there you go. There's a public call out. If you want to be on this podcast and you know me, or you were part of my life in the past, or you want to get on here, send me a message. You can message me on Facebook or the socials, which are in the description below the video. YouTube. But yeah, I really enjoyed my first podcast. It really set the tone for what I wanted to do. I've wanted Ricky back on again, but the schedules don't line up. It's on the cards. We're going to do it. He really wants to do it. But it was a candid, open chat. We spoke openly in front of a camera, maybe a little bit too much. Things were revealed that people may not have known about him and definitely didn't know about me, but they do now, and it's out there in the ether. But it was great fun. The card thing, I love doing the cards. The awkward questions, I feel it's good icebreakers. I feel you learn things, but you also get like stupid conversations when the cards are flowing well. The last few podcasts, I didn't really feel I needed to do the cards for icebreaking or for getting people to relax. So they've kind of taken more of a back seat, and the conversations themselves are more fun. But I've really enjoyed doing it and I want to do more. The first person that I wanted on to do podcasts was wrestler Brody Adler, who is also my friend. So that was always supposed to be the first one. And I don't want, it's going to be, we're going to talk about wrestling, we're going to talk about stuff like that, but it's also, I want to talk about same thing and what we've done in the podcast prior, which is, us as friends, as people, because it's not primarily a wrestling podcast that I do. It just so happens that most people I know are involved in wrestling because that's the largest part of my social circle. It's my trainees and people who come to the shows. There's so many people that have come up to Combat League that I want to do the podcast with, but I've never had A, the confidence to ask them, and B, figure out when I'm going to get the time to do it, because when they come up for a weekend, they don't always come up on a Friday, and even if they do come up on the Friday, it's late. You've got to do the socialise and have a laugh, and then it's bed to get ready for the show on Saturday. Then Saturdays is an all-day thing. Show is like 9 in the morning until 1 o'clock the next morning. It takes that long, and it's a long, hard-going day, especially personally for me, because I am promoting, I am coaching, I am wrestling, I'm helping run the thing, and again, I keep saying it, it's not an excuse, but see with the autism, it's really difficult. And the older I get, it's getting more difficult. The physicality on my body, my injuries, my mental health, and then my autism on that day is really struggling because it's sensory overload, noise, sound, stress, anxiety. It's getting more and more of a struggle. So then trying to fit a podcast in there somewhere, impossible. But at the moment, as it stands now, I have Brody Adler booked in. We're going to do it. I'm determined to do it because it needs to happen, because Brody was supposed to be the first one and it's the anniversary of this. So you're getting on. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. And I'm really looking forward to that conversation. The podcasts have been great, as I said, and I want to do so much more. I've enjoyed my conversations with Stephen Ness. I've enjoyed my conversation with Richard. Richard is another one that I'm getting back on as well. I want everyone back on at some point. It's just time. It is just time, and I'm going to talk about that later. So, right, let's get into some stats. I'm already at 16 minutes roughly, so I'm wasting your time here. I'm wasting your time rambling. Let's go. So, I don't know whether the first set of stats is depressing or not, but for me, that I did not have a social media presence at all when I started this. I do want to point that out because I'm going to be sitting here going, oh, these numbers are amazing. And to someone else, they're not. But to me, they are. I had no social media presence. I deleted my Facebook and everything and anyone I ever knew years ago. Over 10 years ago, I wiped that clean. So I started this with nothing. And I don't know how to do social media. I don't know how to market myself. I don't know how to spread myself like a nasty internet rash. I'm annoying enough to do it, but I'm just not versed in how to do it. So, my YouTube total views across all of my videos, and all of my videos in total are 44 videos. I have 21 Let's Talk About Meh episodes. It'll be 22 when this goes up. I've done 7 podcasts, which isn't nearly enough. I started a sub-show called Coffee Ponders, which started as small social media clips that I enjoyed doing where I had a question pop up in my head and I just wanted to ramble as I had my morning coffee. I miss doing them. I want to do them more, but time is a commodity at this moment. I started another sub-show, which was Ready, Set, Play Gaming News, which is a bit of a passion project for me. I have a slight announcement on that later with this as well. But yeah, so a total of 44 videos across, we'll say 4 types of shows that I've done in a year. The total views across 44 videos is 3,014. That seems kind of low to me, but I'm happy with that because I genuinely didn't think anyone would look at these videos at all. So averaging out probably between 30 views per video, we'll say, which is not a lot, but to me, that 30 people sat and watched them is still crazy to me. Still crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I'd like more. I would honestly love to grow this out a little bit more. I don't want to be like a YouTuber or something, but I do want to grow it. And where I'm at now, I don't know how. I genuinely don't know what else I can do in this moment in time to get this out further, other than ask the usual, which I hate asking because it sounds like begging, and it is like begging, and I don't like it. It's part of the social media stuff I hate. I need anyone who watches this for you to comment or share and like the video. If you follow my socials on Instagram, which is the main one, and TikTok, details below in the description. Go like it, follow, share my stuff. Sharing and reposting is probably the best way that I'm going to be able to grow my audience because I cannot seem to break outside of my small bubble. And I appreciate my small bubble, I do, but I'd like to break out of it. And unfortunately, my content is shit. Because it's about me, and my content is widespread in what I'm doing. And I knew when I started this that I didn't have a focus, and I was well aware that if you start a YouTube channel or anything like this and you're not focusing on one thing, you're not gonna get enough of like a hyper focus. You know, like if you wanted to be like board game and stuff, you would obviously just cover board games. If you wanted to be video games, you would just cover video games. If you wanted to do movies or trailer reacts, it would just be trailer reacts. No, I do everything and everything because the channel is me. Let's Talk About Meh. It's just me. It's anything I like and what I want to talk about, which is shit content. So yeah, YouTube views are at 3,014 across 44 videos. Total subscribers are 46, and I swear to you, that sat at 39 for so long until I believe I'm going to be really rude here because I've forgotten the name. It's Jack's partner. Is it? Oh no, it's terrible. Shondi? What's it, Shondi? Shondi got me to 40, which was like a huge moment for me. There was a comment of like, I've put you to 40 now. So I'm happy with that. So I don't know who the other 6 was. No idea who the other 6 was, but you know, thanks for hopping on and enjoying my journey. But yeah, on one hand, I think in my head, like my negative side goes, oh, only 46 in a year. But I had nothing when I started this. 46 people actually decided to be like, do you know what? Yeah, I'll subscribe to this guy talking shit. So it's a positive, thanks. Yeah, that's the YouTube side. Instagram, which is kind of like where I just put everything, and I've slowed down on Instagram. I still use it, but when I started this, I was like posting every day. That slowed down for reasons I'll talk about at the end of this video. But yeah, so Instagram, in a year, I've made roughly 410 posts. I have 410 followers, and I average, which this really freaks me out, my page averages out between 12 and 14,000 views a month. That's weird. And I know that's just people flicking through, but the fact that people have looked at my profile page that many times per month is weird to me. And strangely, once I've tried to dig into the stats and I've tried to figure it out, it's like trying to understand algorithm stuff so I can like better market myself. I don't understand how my page gets 12 to 14,000 views a month of traffic. And yet, when you look at the videos don't get any kind of like high-end views outside of my my bubble. Or it tells you that, oh, this is, this percentage of your followers saw this. And most of the time, it's my followers. So I don't understand how I'm getting that much traffic unless somebody that really likes me is going on my page 14,000 times a month, which makes me feel very special. But yeah, I don't understand this stuff. It doesn't make sense to me. It's gobbledygook. But yeah, so averaging out between 12 and 14,000 views a month. On my TikTok, which I started later, I did 198 posts in less than a year. I've had a combined, because it tells me this, I had a combined amount of 723 likes on my posts. I have 159 followers. But my total views across 198 videos is 83,378. 83,378 people looked at my crap on TikTok. That is weird to me. That blows my mind. Massively blows my mind. Whether those stats are wrong or right, I don't know, but that is just weird to me. To have a combined view amount on the videos, that's 83,000. Ironically, the video that has the most views on TikTok is when I went on holiday in May, and when we first got to the hotel, we had a nightmare sleep the first night with the bar, and I put a video up how like knackered we were and how tired and how we were hoping to switch the rooms. That's the video that has the most views. That's redonkulous. And I want to do it's either going to be a Let's Talk About Meh episode, or it's going to be a coffee ponder, because it's kind of a question-based thing. It's a thinky thing, and it's about social media and what is classed as good content, what is high effort to low effort, what's my personal experience of seeing what gets traction and what doesn't, which can I personally just say, as somebody that's put a lot of effort into this, it's really fucking soul destroying and annoying when you see something that's filmed on pish quality stuff and requires no effort and it's getting like hundreds of thousands of views and you think, what the fuck? And it does come across very, very, very pretentious that, to say out loud, like, oh, why is that getting and mine's not? It's not that. I'm actually thinking, like, I watch some stuff on YouTube, like, I love, video games and stuff like that, and I watch quite good content, what I think is good content, and they put, like, a lot of effort into what they do, and a lot of work in their editing, and a lot of, like, resources, script writing, and then you see what I will be discussing, and this gets more views than them, and you think, how? How is this? It's not right. It's ridiculous. It really is. But yeah, anyway, I will probably make a coffee ponder on it. It'll be a longer coffee ponder, but I think it's a coffee ponder video. So I have a comment, and this will be more involved with the coffee ponder as well, because it makes more of a point. I did an experiment, and I won't go into what the experiment was. I'll give you no context for this. But my most liked comment, and I have not left many comments on other people's pages because I don't tend to interact with other pages. That might be why my reach isn't there. But I don't interact with other pages. I don't interact with other people's... but I do like posts. I do like and I do follow people's stuff. But I don't tend to comment because I'm not that confident. I feel like if I comment, I'm putting myself out there. And that just scares me. So I put a comment, and it was an experiment comment, and it was on a funny video. And that comment was to repeat something that was said in the video, just 2 words. That was the experiment, because I had a theory, and it's soul destroying, and to this day it's still soul destroying because I get a reminder every day on my phone about it. I said bonjour, bonjour. Got me. Laughing face, laughing face. That is the most banal comment I could have put. I just repeated 2 words from the video. That comment at the moment is nearly at 13,000 likes and rising. Every day I get a notification that people are liking that comment. I'm lucky if I get 2 likes on any of my videos, and even from people I know that follow my stuff don't like my videos. And that comment is at over 12.5 thousand likes now. That is just soul destroying. But yeah, that is my most liked comment on my social media journey. So now, to wind down, I want to talk about how do I feel after a year of doing this? Because it's been an experience. It's been a very ongoing experience. I'll cover the good first. I wanted to do it because I like projects. I like to throw myself into something creative, whether it's music when I get time to do it, whether it's taking in creative things. I love movies. I really love movies. I love video games. I love music. I like art even. I love graphic novels. I like comics. I love novels, books. I like that kind of stuff, and I always have. And throughout my life, I've kind of dabbled in everything, and I always get knocked in my confidence when I'm doing it, and I stop. And the only reason I bring this up is because I was having a chat with my son Corbin, who's 9 now. Whew, where did time go? And we were talking about writing stories and things, and then I remembered I used to write stories. I used to write long stories, in-depth stories, and the first one I can remember writing, I was only little, and I think it was zombies. I did the zombie survival story thing, and it was really, really long. And then when I got older, I wrote more kind of sci-fi, but it was always kind of horror based, which was probably not good for a kid writing, but that was my jam. When I was about 11, I then wrote a space horror, and it was quite long. It was short. You can call it a short novella or short story, but it was long. It was pages and pages and pages and pages and pages. And then in class, I think in first year of high school, I wrote for a project. It was supposed to be a short story, but I ended up handing in a ridiculous amount of pages, and it was a Japanese love triangle in a ninja clan. Just gonna say that again. A Japanese love triangle in a ninja clan. What? My English teacher was confuzzled when she received that. But yeah. And I just remember that my mother, who I've never ever really gone into it in this channel, but my mother is deceased, and we did not get on. When I have to give the short answer or the short explanation into this, is my mother was just not very good at being a mother. So yeah, I'll leave that there. But I remember at the height of when I was getting into my writing, and I was really thinking, do you know what, I could take this seriously. She just ripped it. She completely destroyed my confidence with it. For lack of quote, she just said it was shit and I should concentrate on better things. And I never wrote again. And it's something that I was like, wow, I could have done something with that, because I really wanted to go down that route. So yeah, I wanted to do writing, and then I wanted to do acting. And I was really wanting to get in acting, because I knew that I wanted to entertain. When I wanted to be creative. It's always something I've wanted to do. I wanted to entertain, and I wanted to be creative. And high school killed that for me. Thurso High, for me, in my time, I don't know what it's like now, but when I was there, it was shit. It was shockingly shit. Every department was struggling. And this was in 99, 2000. It was awful. I had a bad school experience in primary school and in high school because I had autism. It was not diagnosed, and academically I struggled with stuff. But I genuinely tried to get into acting, and my guidance counsellor, who has a lot to fucking answer for, I got into drama class. And I don't know if it's still done the same way, but back then you had to, once you got to like third year, you had to ask what you wanted to try and get into. You had a choice of your classes, and sometimes you didn't get what you wanted. And I really, really wanted to get into acting, and I got in. I got into the acting class, and I still don't know to this day why, but my guidance counsellor, or guidance teacher, they called them back then, she took me out of that class because it was full of girls. And I asked why, and she's like, oh, well, you know, it's just, we're just going to leave it as full of girls, you know, an all-girl class. I was like, but I want to do acting, and now that's not on the cards at all. There's no alternative to it. I wanted to do drama. Nope, just didn't get in because she took me out and I'm assuming put another girl in my place just to keep it an all-girls class. And yeah, that was it. Absolutely shattered me. And I did not pursue it again. And again, it's a running theme. Maybe I should have just pushed forward, but I didn't have any other choice or any option. And then eventually, story not told, but I dropped out of high school. And I dabbled with music. I was in a band for a while, which I have fond memories of. I have a lot of bad memories, but the bad memories is me because I fucked it up. I ruined it. And I ruined a lot of friendships as well with my naivety. And again, it's not an excuse, but a lot of it was the tism, and I didn't know how my brain functioned, and I didn't understand what works for me, what doesn't work for me, what social situations I need to avoid. But yeah, so luckily I've kept someone. Again, I don't socialise, I don't go out with them, but I'm glad that Jack was in the band, who I've had in the podcast, and he does the sound and lights for Combat League Wrestling. I'm glad I've managed to maintain that friendship because he's a cool dude, and I always enjoy speaking with Jack when I can. But yeah, so then I was like, creatively I want to get into music. I was in that band, and I messed that up, and I didn't get back into that scene. I just disappeared. I exiled myself. That's when I really cut myself off from social life. I ended up just making music in my room. Really, really bad music. Some of it was good, some of it I'm still proud of. But it was all like demo stuff. Like I didn't have a drummer, so it was like this electric drum kit and everything. Oh, it was so tinny. It was awful. Oh, there's none. Self-training myself on guitar, on keyboard. I still couldn't tell you, I can't read music. I can barely read tab. I know what I can do on guitar, and I know what I can do on keyboard and MIDIs. I then got into music programming. So I just do that now. I do that. I actually have recent stuff. I've got lots of music, but I've really enjoyed the recent stuff I've been doing. I'm crap at mixing. It's one thing I think that I struggle with. I think I get it to a point where I like it, but I can never get it sounding exactly how I want it to. So mixing I struggle with. But I do have a SoundCloud, and I put up there more for my dad, because my dad's my like biggest supporter on things. But I might just pop them up on YouTube, just for the crack. I don't tend to let people hear my stuff, but I might pop them on YouTube, just because to get them out there a bit. Because I'm not doing anything with them. They just sit on my hard drive and do nothing. And it's not even like I want praise for them. I was just like, well, the whole point to make music is for someone to listen to it, isn't it? So maybe I should just try and put it out a bit more. But yeah, so I dabbled in that. I wanted to be creative. I obviously do professional wrestling, which took the acting. I have to write, not so much just now, because kind of like Glenn Dunbar is handling the booking side of things, but then for 13 years I wrote the stories. I have to write in my mind when we're doing it, you're telling a story in the ring. So I took the acting side of that. I have on occasion used my own music for my entrances, not anymore. So I use that aspect of it. When I build my wrestling characters, my entrance is really important to me. So that's creative side. I've always been creative. That was a long rant to get across that I've always been creative in many different ways. Jack of all trades, master of fucking none. But this was the next project I wanted to do because I wanted to try it. I also thought for myself and my mental health, it might be good to not be fully exiled and outside of the social side of things. Being autistic or being neurodivergent in any way, I'm not speaking for everyone, so this is just my experience, but I always feel alone. I always feel that nobody fully understands me. I always feel I am misunderstood or not seen. And that's a huge part that I struggle with. So I decided to do this, and I was terrified that I'd be seen. And it's not been all bad. It's not been all bad. I've enjoyed doing it, and it gave me purpose and an extra form of creativity to share who I am, who my family is, who I'm very proud of and who I love. And I've shared that I paint minis, not often, but I paint minis. I've shared like the board games I play. I've shared little bits and bobs of the wrestling. And it's also been an outlet at times for me to just look into the camera and talk. In fact, this one, because I've rambled a lot and I've talked a lot, it's making me feel better just talking. I feel like I'm getting some shit out. You lot are my therapist, and I don't have to pay you for it. But it's done a lot of good. It's done a lot of good. However, it has done a lot of bad as well. So, along with all the stats, let's add a new stat to it. Because of this, I've had 2 freaking mental breakdowns in a year. And it's my fault. Because I had said to myself, and I said it in that first video, I wasn't doing this to be a YouTuber or anything like that. Like, I wasn't doing this to get noticed or get somewhere with it. I would like it to be bigger. I don't know why. I just would like it to be a bit more seen so that it feeds me more to do more with it and more drive. But I don't know what this is. But I had 2 breakdowns because I lost sight of doing it for fun. There was a period where I was like firing videos out on a schedule. I was doing Coffee Ponder on Tuesday morning, and immediately after that I would film a Let's Talk About Meh, edit them and get them out. I was putting out maybe 2 to 3 videos in a week. Killed me. Absolutely killed me. Destroyed my mental health. And it slowly, no, it didn't slowly, very quickly, but I didn't realise it. Very quickly took over everything in my mind, because then I'm like, it doesn't stop here. Once I stop the button here, I've got to go edit it. That takes hours to edit. Then I've got to upload, and that takes, depending on the size of the file, hours to YouTube. Then it's social media. I used to cut clips. I need to actually do the clips again, because take the funny bits and that out of the podcast. I need to start clipping again. But that takes time and effort. Then I have to put them on social media, and that's not as streamlined as you'd think. That takes time, and then you got to push it. Then you got to push it onto like TikTok. And that then became me constantly looking at my phone and looking at who's seeing it, where's the views, what's the likes, what's the, where's the interaction coming from? Oh, that didn't work, right? So maybe I need to pivot to this. And it consumed me. It absolutely consumed me. It was all I would do, because it got to the point where if I was ill or if time was not there, I would start to be like, I need to get a fucking video done today. I need to do a video. And it would stress me out. And it happened twice. I fell into the trap once and I said, right, I'm not going to do that again. And I did. I did do it again. So I had to take like 2 breaks doing this. And Corbin, bless him, always brings me back down to earth with it, because he can tell when I'm stressed or when I look like crap with it. And he just came up to me one day and bless him. He put his hand on my knee and he went, Dad, it's only supposed to be fun, you know. You said when you started this, that it was only supposed to be fun. I was like, yeah, you're right. I have to keep remembering that. So I've had to take steps to pull myself away. I had to take the YouTube stat thing, I think it's like YouTube Studio or something. I took that off my phone because I was constantly looking at that. And it just put me down a bad path. And then it made me petty as well, because I would look at like other content creators and be like, oh, why am I not getting that? And that was putting me like, what I don't want to do is start thinking like that, because that's not me. I don't understand how that twisted my viewpoint of where I got jealousy and bitter and angry. And yeah, it just twisted me. It really did. And I didn't like that. And the pressure to do content, that's been a tough one. July, I kind of slowly got back into the rhythm. And the first video I did crushed me, because I did a video talking about all the Mortal Kombat games and how they've, where I was at periods in my life with, and how I liked them, and I ranked, I was like discussing them, reviewing them, if you will. I did and it took 50 minutes to film it, which this video's almost getting to. My apologies. It took 50 minutes to film it, and once I'd finished, I realised I hadn't put this on. And that's the one thing I will say about this camera, the audio fucking sucks. It's really tinny because it's designed to work with this. And I just did a 50-minute video, and I'm like, I don't think I can do that again, because it won't be as authentic and what I want, which is me just rambling into the camera. It's now going to be more rehearsed. I may go back and do it, because my plan was to talk about the video games, and then I wanted to talk about all the movies and all the animated movies, because at the time I'd worked my way through them all, and I thought, well, why not talk about it? But that absolutely killed me. It crushed me, and it shouldn't have. It should have just been, well, fuck it, move on or do it again. The other aspect of, especially when I was in the whole putting out so much content and getting into a rhythm, and again, it's on me, this is 100% on me, I was genuinely fucked off that not everyone I knew or I was friendly with started supporting me on this, because I thought it might have been a given, and I shouldn't have. I understand that now. And it was very, very pretentious of me to think so. But not everybody immediately supported me. Folk didn't like the videos, they wouldn't share it, and that really kind of like upset me. I got really, really upset with that, because I was like, well, you know, this is like important to me. You know that I put a lot of work into it because I've spoken about it. You've asked me questions about it. Why don't you like my content? Why don't you help me build it a bit? And there's the sentence there. Why don't you help me build it a bit? It's up to me to do it, not them. I will admit, the only thing now that pisses me off with that is if someone I know comes up to me and goes, oh, your video was really good, man, I really enjoyed it, and then we'll go further into it and go, I like this bit, I like that bit, but hasn't liked the video or reposted it or anything. That fucks me off, because you like it, give me a wee hand up there, you know? So if you're doing that, fucking stop it. Fucking push the like button, repost, motherfucker. But yeah, there's been bad times with this. But I go back to what I said at the start of this video. I genuinely didn't think anyone would watch any of this. And that's kind of cool. I think it's cool that even that amount of people have been watching this. What does the future hold for Let's Talk About Meh? I don't know. There's been a couple of times I've been like, I'm just going to stop. Because my biggest problem I have at the moment is time. I don't have time. Corbin's needs have increased because he's also autistic. So it requires a lot of my attention. Plus, I'm his dad. I don't drive. So his school is on the other side of town. And to do the school trip takes about an hour walking. So I've got to go get him. Well, I'll drop him off. And then I got to go get him. And that takes a lot of time. And, you know, I'm running a house as well. I've got to clean. I've got the dog who's sitting on this couch buried somewhere nice and warm behind me. Has actually not barked once during this video. Thank you, Miles. And I've got to fit in my own hobbies and things I want to do. And time to sit down and do this is very limited. Very, very limited. Because as I say, I just want to make folk understand this. When I stop filming and I press record, there's hours of work to edit it, clean it up, do all the razzmatazz and upload it. And then push it on the socials. It takes so much time. I have so much respect. See, for people who do this as a living, I know eventually they hire editors and social media managers and that, but see people that don't do that, power to you. Power fucking to you. And you have all of my respect, because it's a mental game. It is a mental game. And I don't think I'm strong enough to do something like that full time. Not yet. Not yet. Maybe when my home life calms down a bit, maybe I could dedicate something like that, but it's so difficult. I want to keep doing the videos, but I need to continue on as I have in the last couple of months, where I haven't done a video a week. I need to just accept that it's going to be more beneficial for me mentally and creatively if I want to do a video if and when. If I feel like it. And I'm like, oh, well, I watched this movie, I'm going to talk about this movie. Or, oh yeah, that series is really cool, I want to talk about that series of things. Or I'm currently working my way through, I forget the name of the publisher. Is it Image? IDW Publishing. I'm working my way through their entire collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's like 19 massively thick volumes. And I'm slowly working my way through. I'm definitely going to be talking about that, because that has been great fun. So, you know, stuff like that. There's another M. I want to keep doing the Let's Talk About Meh episodes. I want to keep doing the podcast if and when I can. I need to just make more effort to try and arrange getting people over. But as I said, my time is extremely limited. And then that is combined with their time. Are they available? Coffee Ponders, if I'm going to be honest, like view-wise, they never get much. They never get much interaction, but I like doing them because I like to sit and have a think as I'm talking about whatever the question or the subject matter is. Now, the thing that does have to change is the thing I have just started, which is Ready, Set, Play Gaming News. That's going to have to take a slight pivot because I'm going to have to turn that into Ready, Set, Play Gaming Reviews. I love doing the news and I love the review side of it, but I can't keep up. I can't. I started doing monthly releases. I've done my first video game review, which is the Ghost of Yotei review, which I'm really proud of. I am proud of that. I'm really pleased with how that came out. I did coverage of Gamescom 2025 and did like an Xbox Dead sort of thing, which it most definitely is. It's gonna struggle. Steam Machine is the future. And I've realised I can't do the news side of it. I can't. As much as I love it, I can't. I don't have time. It takes ages to edit. It's a lot of work to cut. And like, I edit for a long time. A long time. I enjoy doing it, but I just can't. I can't do all of it. So I'm going to pivot that and I'm going to have to change the name to Ready, Set, Play Gaming Reviews because I would much rather finish a video game that I'm enjoying, and once I've finished it, so I'm not under pressure, I will review it. I will give my opinions on it. And I think that's better than me covering big news things because I missed this month's games releases and it played on my mental health. It played on me. It was in the back of my head the whole time. When you haven't done it yet, you need to do it. And it takes a long time to cut the videos and edit them and then do the voice work because I don't show my face in those ones. I just do voiceovers. So yeah, it has to change the Ready, Set, Play Gaming Reviews. So 52 minutes, probably the longest video I've done. It's been a year. It's been a year of ups and downs, but it has been more ups than downs. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to try and make it grow. But I will say again, I need your help to get it to grow. And I don't think I've ever kind of one-on-one looked at a camera and said, give me some help. It's not going to grow without you. It will not go any further than it is now unless you help me get out there. So if you could, take the time, whether you're on your phone, whether you're on your computer, whether you're on the toilet, could you please go to my socials, which are in the description below, like the posts, share my posts, and just help me build this a little bit more and expand my bubble a bit. If you've got any suggestions other than stop doing it, and what I could do to put my reach out there, let me know. If you know me personally, you can message me. If you don't, comment below. And yeah, here's to some more videos. And hopefully, I think, well, the next video is obviously going to be, because I cover every Combat League show and how my experiences went. The next one's going to be The Last Survivor. So that'll probably be the next video. I have 2 podcasts lined up. And yeah, let's wind down there at the 53, 54 minute mark. Thanks for joining me for this entire year. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for helping me with it. I have enjoyed it more than I've disliked it. You know, that's why I'm still going to keep doing it. And hopefully I will be here this time next year talking about the 2nd year anniversary and maybe getting to the point a little bit quicker. Thanks. Again, love you for the support. Peace.